Hey everybody, it's Jason Blaha here. Now that my 3 informative videos are done for the day, it's time to talk about current events in the online fitness community. And I don't think there's any of us who haven't seen C.T. Fletcher's Last Will and Testament. So let me put on my +5 out of weaponsmithing, work on skilling up my crafting a little bit, and let's talk about this. Now a lot of people are going to be like, Jason, you shit talk a lot of people. Why don't you shit talk C.T.? Because C.T.'s earned my respect. All right, I don't have to agree with everything he says or everything that he does to know that CT is a real man. And he's left a powerful legacy, and he is a champion. All right, and I've spoken with him personally, and so he has talked to me before. So he's one of those people that I'm simply not going to disrespect. There's a lot of clowns on YouTube Fitness, and I am more than happy to disrespect all day long. CT is not one of them. People always say stupid stuff like, oh, you scared of work? Man, guys, he's dying. It's about respect, guys. It's about respecting people, not fear. But the thing is, CT has left a powerful legacy. We'll talk about that in a minute. But, I watched the video, and it's hard to watch that. It's hard to watch a man who has been a champion. A man who has possessed that level of strength and power as a strength athlete, to see him have to admit, he tried to do one push-up over and over, couldn't do it, and his son had to pick him up off the ground, and he was in tears. All right, as someone who trains for strength, for someone who cares about strength, as a strength athlete myself, all right, that's heartbreaking. That's hard to watch. But here's the thing. He showed it for us. He displayed his weakness, knowing he has been one of the strongest people on earth, knowing that his ego and his identity is tied up in strength. Yet the guy shows us his weakness. How many people have the balls to do that? All right, that's ballsy. All right, that's ballsy. That's brave. That's brave. And I mean, say what you will about the man, but to say that this man isn't brave, or that he's not a real man, you can't say that. You can't say that. Because he displayed it right there. And that's the thing, is that he talked about, he realizes, someone who has been strong, that the importance is about the legacy that you leave, the people that you love, the people that you help. And that he's been given the gift, the ability to help thousands and thousands of people in his final years on earth. And he's content with that legacy. And I'm going to have to agree. And I want to agree on a couple levels. There's some points he didn't make that I think we do need to talk about. If he's leaving a legacy, there's a lot of people who aren't grasping it, but I think they will over time. But the first part, all the people he's helped. I mean, I'm going to be honest. He came into YouTube. When CT first came into YouTube and he blew up, when I was fighting hard to build my YouTube fitness channel and my strength channel and everything else, I was fighting hard and he just exploded. I was jealous. And I'm man enough to admit that. A lot of times people say stuff like, you're jealous of this person, that person, when I'm really not. In fact, it's ridiculous some of the times when they say that. But in this case, I was jealous. But I also sat back and watched and realized, despite that jealousy, this is a man who paid his dues for a long, long time before he came to YouTube. Decades of paying his dues. Strength sports and everything else. He paid his dues already. He was just earning this on the backside. He'd already paid for it. His legacy on YouTube. And it gave him the connections and the background to get a professional production crew to come in and help him out. And his over-the-top personality really drove him forward. He was a showman, and still is a showman. I don't want to say was, because he's not gone yet. He's still here, so I don't want anyone to think I'm talking about him like he's dead. He's not. He's got some time left. But he's a showman, and he out-showmaned all these guys. Look how many guys out there really tried to be showmen. Rich Piana made himself off of showmanship. But CT was over the top. And it was over the top because you could tell it was who he really was. It wasn't an act. He was a showman just by his very nature. It's who he is. Just an over-the-top type of guy. But, you know, you start benching over 500 pounds for reps, you kind of have to be an over-the-top guy. You just have to be to do the things he's done. Normal people don't do those things. They just don't. So the thing is, he came in over the top. How many people did he help? Yeah, I could argue that some of his training methods I don't believe in. The whole thing, no such thing as overtraining. We can argue about that all day long. But how many people did he join the gym because of him? How many people added years to their life and quality to their life? How many people are going to beat cancer because of him? How many people are going to beat their own heart disease because of him? Thousands and thousands. Because he was over the top and he put out a persona. How many people walked into a gym and grabbed a barbell for the first? How many people did a squat or a bench press or a barbell row for the first time because of him? Probably a hell of a lot. That's going to enrich those people's lives. It's going to improve their health. It's going to improve, for many of them, their character. For many people, it's going to drag them out of depression. For a lot of people, that is going to save their lives. All right, that's world-changing type stuff. It really is. If you can get tens of thousands of people to go lift weights, when we know the health benefits of it, that changes lives. And for them to come in with a proper hardcore attitude, I don't mean this silly bodybuilder hardcore attitude, I'm going to do 37 sets of cable curls. Come in and have people lift some weight. All right, come in and take barbell squats seriously. All right, that's what makes people athletes. That's what makes people strong. That's what makes people better. That's what improves people. He started pushing things back in that direction. And I think that's a legacy that's going to last. That's going to be his legacy. All those people who found motivation watching him to go get their lazy ass up off the couch and get in the gym. Or the people he called the bonbon eating people with their side butt having ass. Sitting back in their lazy boy. Those people. How many of those people realized he was talking to them? Kind of enjoying the gym. A lot of them did. I've met guys in gyms who CT motivated them to get in there. I've met people. That's a hell of a legacy. It's a hell of a legacy. You can't take that away from him. Other thing though. CT is one of the few guys in this game who lived long enough and has still lived long enough to kind of spell it out for everybody. How many guys dropped dead with no warning? Who this hardcore lifestyle, their goals at any cost, dropped dead before they got old enough to think it through. A lot of them. All of them. Rich Piana, Dallas McCarver. There'll be a host of others, you know. Counted Muscle, Jerry Ward. None of those guys, they're not going to be around a lot longer. Let's just be honest here. But CT basically got to show us what happens when you put something like size or strength at any cost. Because that's what CT did. And he talked about it and admitted it. Because when you try to grab strength from the future, when you reach into the future and you want to pull your future strength into the current so that you can be as strong as possible, and that's what he did, you can't steal strength from the future. You can only borrow it. You can only borrow it. In his case, you know, he admitted some of the drug use, admitted the side effects of how crazy gear made him, and it's one reason he had to quit doing it. He knew it made him crazy. And I think that's because it doesn't do that to everyone. It's his personality. He's a very over-the-top person. He's very intense. All right, there are certain substances that intense people cannot use because it brings out more of what's already there. And he's already up here at this level. You know, you don't have much else to go until you just basically just flip out. He's an intense person. But he saw that. He had the wherewithal and the ability to see the consequences of his actions and realize this is going to be a problem. I can't keep doing this. Same thing with the diet. Eating all that McDonald's every day. And bulking up to 300 pounds. Right? There's a price to pay for that. And you're stealing that strength from the future. To the point of where now a man who was one of the strongest men on earth can't do a push-up. Borrowed that strength from the future. And he knows that, and he admits that, and it's there for everybody to see. That's the other part of his legacy. All the people he helped, motivating them, and then all the people who are going to be able to look at that and say, you know what, when you go after certain goals at any cost, you better understand what that cost is down the road. And a lot of young kids, they don't think these things through. They think about, oh, I just want this and that, and I don't care what price I've got to pay in the future for it. But life is short, guys. I'm 41 years old. It wasn't that long ago that I was 20. It really wasn't. It wasn't that far long back. I'm sure CT remembers, man, my 20s weren't really that long ago. Life passes quickly. And you know, whatever we take actions, we have to think this stuff through. What are the consequences of the actions? Now, a lot of people are going to say, well, but look at what he got out of it. Look how famous he is. Look at the outreach he had. Maybe so. But you know, when you're laying there at death's door, you can't do a push-up and your son has to pick you up. That's when those regrets do set in. And I think that the fact that he had the courage to share that with us, all right, that's going to leave its own legacy. It's going to leave its own legacy. Because we're seeing the good and the bad. Like, he's showing us the light side and the dark side of the whole iron game. I mean, the full gamut of it. You know, and he's a teacher. He's teaching people. And we can all learn something from that. Not only his resolve, but his ability to understand what's important in life. To be able to shed light on that for other people, to say, hey, you need to understand there is a price to be paid sometimes for greatness. There's a price to be paid. And he also made us understand, you know, that maybe what really matters in life is the legacy you leave, the connections you make, the people that you help, the influence that you have on everyone around you. All right? That's what's important in life. And this is someone who had the outreach. They did great things, obtained great things. Other people look up to them. Who's telling you that right now? That this is what matters. This is what matters. Your relationships, your friends, your family, the people that you help, the people that you love. That's what's important. That's what matters the most in this world. So with that, CT, it's still your set.